Hey guys, welcome to Gyani Buddy. I am Shivani Toshniwal and I am your Gyani Buddy for today. So, today we will discuss the palindrome stack assignment. So, let's go to gyanibuddy.com. Then, move to assignment section and fill the course form. Stream as engineering, university as SPPU, branch as computer science, that is CS, and subject as data structure, that is DS. Click on the submit button. There are many assignments here. Of them, we have to go to the palindrome stack assignment. Here is the aim. We have to code a CPP program to check whether the given string is palindrome or not. Now, what does a palindrome string means? When you read it from left to right or right to left, it will be read same. For example, MADAM, that is, if you read it from left to right, MADAM, and reversing it, if you read it MATAM, both are same. That means the string is palindrome. Now, this can be performed using a very famous data structure, that is stack. So you must also know the stack basics. So let's look over it. And the aim also includes that we have to remove the spaces and punctuation in the string, convert all characters to lowercase, and then we have to check whether the string is palindrome or not. So here we have three sections: prerequisites, related theory, and viva questions. So in the prerequisite section, you must all know the stack basics. That is, stack is a linear data structure which follows last in first out or first in last out. So you very well know that in a stack of plates, if we have to remove a plate, we can only remove the topmost plate that we had inserted last, and so we say last in first out order. Here we maintain a variable called as top, which is generally initialized to -1 initially when the stack is empty. There are two ways to implement stack. The first implementation is array implementation, and the second implementation is the linked list implementation. So here we will consider array implementation. And a basic stack always includes two operations. When we insert an element to the top of the stack, we called it as a push operation, and when we delete an element from the top of the stack, we call the operation as the pop operation. In an array implementation, we restrict the insert and delete operation so that the stack last in first out is followed. As we all know that in array we can delete or insert any element at any position, but if we want to implement an array into a stack, we have to restrict the insert and delete operations, and for that we have to include some of the conditions. So here we have two conditions: underflow and overflow. If top equals to -1, the stack is empty and deletion can't be performed. That means if the top is -1, we haven't inserted any element yet, or we have deleted all the elements from the stack. That means we can't delete any element because the stack is empty. How can we delete an element from an empty stack? It's not possible. So it's mandatory to include this condition. That is, if top equals to -1, the stack is empty. The other condition is overflow condition. Just imagine if the stack has a limited size, that is 5 elements. If all the 5 places are filled with some of the elements, how is it possible to insert the 6th element into the stack? It is not possible. So when it is possible, an array is usually, or in coding, it is indexed from 0 to the size -1 index. Suppose an array has 5 elements, so it will be indexed from 0 to 4. The same is the case of stack, as we are implementing the stack using the array. So when top equals to size of stack -1, your size indicates size -1 indicates the array implementation, as array index starts as 0. As I said, the stack is full and insertion can't be performed here. Okay, as we all know that push and pop methods are implemented whenever a stack is implemented, but in push method, a thing which we must know is that whenever we insert an element, we always increment the top and then insert the element in the top index of array. That means top will always indicate the index of the element of the stack, that is the last inserted element. And in the pop method, we must always decrement the top so that automatically the topmost element gets deleted, and the top then indexes the element which was below it in the stack. Okay, so these things are worth noting here. And in the related theory section, I had discussed how the string is palindrome, for example, madam, as I discussed while discussing the aim. And a very simple algorithm is followed here. First, we have to create an empty stack. Then we have to push all characters of the string one by one into the stack. Then we have to pop all the characters one by one from the stack. And the string which is retrieved after popping, we have to compare this string with the original string. If the both strings are equal, then the string is palindrome, and if they are not equal, the string is not palindrome. If you didn't understood the algorithm, let's demonstrate it using an interesting way which I will show you now, and then we may switch up to the code section.
So guys, here I have a stack and it has the size of 5, indexed from 0 to 4. It is an array implementation. And here I am considering the string MAD. I want to check whether the string MAD is palindrome or not, and with it I have to reverse the string. So you all can see that the top is indexing -1. Okay, and then for inserting, first I will check whether the stack is full or not. So is top equal to size of stack -1? What is the size of stack? It is 5. So 5 minus 1 is 4. The top is not indexing the element 4. So insertion is possible. So first of all, what we will do? We will increment the top. So here I am incrementing the top from -1 to 0. And then I will insert the element M in the 0th position. Now it's the turn for the second element, that is A. Now again, we know that the stack is empty, so I will not check again and again whether the stack is full or not, whether the insertion is possible or not, because we know that insertion is possible here now. So simply increment the top from 0 to 1 and then insert the element A. Now again increment the top from 1 to 2 and then insert the element D. Now it's the time for popping operation. So what is the condition for popping? If the stack is empty, we can't pop any element. Here the index is 2. So top is not pointing to -1. That is, the stack is not empty, so we can perform popping operation automatically. Okay. So while popping, what we will do? We will pop the element and then decrement the top. Okay. So if I am decrementing the top, automatically the element comes out. So D. Then again decrementing the top, I get A. And again decrementing the top, I get M. And while doing this, we see that the top index is -1. That is, the stack is empty. That is, I have popped all the elements that I had pushed previously. You can see the word DAM. What I pushed, MAD. What we are getting, DAM. So eventually we have reversed the string. Now in coding section, what we will do, I will put this DAM in the new string and I will compare the previous original string and this string, whether they are equal or not. If they are equal, then the string is palindrome, and if they are not, the string is not palindrome. So to demonstrate a palindrome string example, I will now so let's check for a palindrome string whether it is palindrome or not. Okay. So first, top indexes the index -1, and then we will increment the top. We will insert the element M. Okay. We are again incrementing the top, inserting A. Again incrementing the top, inserting D. Again incrementing the top, inserting A. Again incrementing the top, inserting M. So here we have seen that the stack is full and the string is also completely pushed into the stack. Now it's the time for popping. So while popping, we will decrement the top and automatically the element will get popped. Okay. So I will decrement the top from 4 to 3 and M gets retrieved. Okay. Then I will again decrement the top from 3 to 2. A gets retrieved. I will decrement top from 2 to 1. D gets retrieved. I will decrement the top from 1 to 0. A gets retrieved. And I will decrement the top from 0 to -1. Again, the letter M gets popped. And what we are seeing now that the top is indexing -1. That means that the stack is empty. That means the elements which we had pushed all have been popped out. And as we had seen the example of DAM and MAD, madam has been reversed. So you are seeing that there is no change in the reverse string and the original string. That means that MADAM is a palindrome string. And this is how the code will work. And let's switch to the code now.
So guys, in the code section, we have the header files iostream, stdio.io.h, stdlib.h and string.h. And then I have defined a class stack, and in it as we know that we are using array representation, so we are using here a character array. I have kept the max length as 50, the stack size, okay. And as we have discussed, the variable top of the type integer, and in the public section, whenever the stack object will be created, the stack constructor will be called and top will be initialized to -1. As we have discussed, when the stack is empty, top equals to -1, okay. And the methods in the public section are push to insert the element, pop to delete the element, is full, that is the overflow condition, and is empty, that is the underflow condition. So let's move further. And here I have defined the class str. It is used to denote the string class. The read string, reverse string, convert string, check palindrome, these functions have been declared here. And basically I have declared here two character arrays, input str and rev str, that is for reverse string, each of length 50, and a stack class object stobj. And these methods or functions, I can say, these are used for first read string is used to input the string, rev string, it is used to reverse the string. Convert string means the punctuation marks, white spaces, capitalized letters are being converted to lowercase letters, and all other things, white spaces and all, they are being removed, okay. And check palindrome function is used to check whether the string is palindrome or not. So let's move forward. As we have discussed, the is empty, that is the underflow condition, okay. So if top is -1, then we have to return 1, that is the stack is empty, and it returns 0 when the stack is not empty, that is it contains at least one element, okay. And is full is the overflow condition. So as we have defined the maximum size of the stack as 50, so I am saying here, if top equals to size of stack -1, as I have discussed, so 50 -1 is 49. So if top equals to 49, then the is full function will return 1, as the stack is full, we can't accommodate a single element after it in the stack, okay, else it will return 0, okay. Now let's move forward. Now this is the function push, which is passed character variable val as a parameter, okay. So first it will see whether the stack is full or not. If it is not full, then we have to increment the top, and then we have to assign the variable val to the top index of the array, that is being implemented like a stack, okay. So it will first check whether the stack is full or not. If it is not, then it will insert the element, first increment the top, then insert the element, else it will print on the console stack overflow or the stack is full, okay. So what happens in stack function? We declare a character variable val and assign it null character, and then we check whether the stack is empty or not, because if it is empty, we can't pop anything, okay, or we can't delete anything. If it is not empty, then the if block will be entered, and the top element will be retrieved into the character val, and then top will be decremented, okay. And if the stack is empty, we can't pop anything, so it will simply print stack underflow or empty on the screen, okay. Now the read string method is very easy. It is just used to take input from the user, okay, using the getS function. We are taking input str. Now the reverse string function is used to reverse the string which we have provided. So here I have declared two local variables I and ch of the type integer and character respectively. And then what I am doing is I am pushing all the elements of the input str into the stack. So I am running a for loop from 0 to input string length or I can say until we encounter null character, as every string has a null character at its end. Okay, and we push using stobj, stack object. Okay, of the stack class, as we have declared stack object in the str class. As you remember, I had said there, you can check the public part of the public part, or you can check the variable part of the str class. Then I will assign I equals to 0 for printing the reversed string again. Okay, and after reversal, what is the string? When we pop each character from the stack, we will get the reversed string. And while reversing and while printing on the screen, what we are doing is we are storing each and every character in a revstr named string. Okay, so what is happening here? I am popping each character, storing it in ch, and then I am displaying it on the screen, and then I am retrieving the same character in the revstr index I, and then I am incrementing the index. So eventually what is happening? Recall the example MADAM. So M is getting stored into the 0th index, A is getting stored into the 1th index, and so on, like MADAM. So let's move towards the convert string function. Here what is happening is the punctuation marks, the white spaces have to be removed. What is to be accepted? All small letters from small a to small z, and the capital letters are to be converted from capital A to small a, and so on. So if we encounter small a to small z, that is ASCII value 97 to 122, we have to retrieve that, or we have to store that input str character into a new temp str, which I have declared here, of the same length or size 50. We have to store it in the temporary variable, temporary character array, temp str of j, and we are incrementing it in the loop. So the j will enter the loop only when I have encountered, or we have encountered, small a to small z. Otherwise else if part will be executed. In the else if part, if the character is capital A, that is 65, to capital Z, that is 90, we have to just increase the value, ASCII value, by 32, so that the capital letter will be converted to the small letter uh, corresponding to that capital letter, that is capital A will be converted to small a, and so on. And this also we are storing into temp str, and this is synchronized, because if and else if, these two can't be run in the same loop or same count. Okay, and then what we are doing is, so that no garbage value covers the temporary string empty variables, what empty indexes, what we are doing is we are assigning null character to the last index, which leaves the for loop, that is temp strj equals to null character. Then what we are doing is we are copying the temporary string into the input string, as we know that temporary string is a local variable, and we want the converted string in a input str. Okay, and your converted string is it will be displayed on the console. Now the check palindrome function, what we are doing is here, if you see first the main function, we have created the str object, and we are reading the string, converting the string, and reversing the string, and then we are calling check palindrome. But in check palindrome, if you see, we are again calling read string, convert string, that is the console will ask you 2 times to read the string, 2 times it will convert the string. So what is happening? revstr is not a local variable. Okay, so the value which we gave previously to the read str in main function will remain there only, and due to the differences in the length of the read str, that is read string function, which is being called in the check palindrome function and main function, what is happening is there are differences of length, and some characters are not being overwritten because of the read string and remain there only in the revstr, and we don't get accurate results. So I'm just running a loop to empty the reverse string temporary variable, sorry, reverse string variable, which is not local. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm running a for loop, and I am assigning it 0, or we can say I'm emptying the string. Okay, and after that what I'm calling is revstring function. After calling that, what happens? The string gets reversed. I've discussed the reverse string function already. Okay, and then I'm comparing the input string and reverse string. If the strcmp function returns 0. That means the difference between the ASCII values of the both strings is 0, and if it is 0 then the string is palindrome. Okay, and if it is not 0, that is the string is not palindrome. So let's copy the whole code. I have already discussed the main function. Let's copy the whole code into the DevC compiler. You can use any compiler of your choice. I am using DevC here. So I'm copying here into DevC. So let's run the code now. So see, enter string. So what I will do, I will write I am a Jnani. Okay. So I had entered I am a Jnani Bhatti, and capital letters were converted to small letters, white spaces and punctuation marks have been removed, and the string is also reversed. Now let's try M-E, and now let's try for madam. See, madam is converted to madam, small M-A-D-A-M, and the string is also palindrome. So this is how the code works. So till then, see you soon guys. Bye, take care, stay safe.